Hey guys, what's up? Happy 4th of July weekend. Sorry this video is a day late again. Like I said before, better late than never. No review today, no toy review or no cosplay video of any kind. I'm going to do something a little different once again. I'm getting ready to watch Power Rangers. Saban's Power Rangers on DVD. I've talked a little bit about this before, certain things that I saw in the trailer, certain exclusive clips I've seen on YouTube. I already voiced a couple of times, I think, in a few random videos that I wasn't too thrilled about the direction they're going in this movie, but I gotta give it a shot because I love Power Rangers. I remember watching the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie in the movie theater back in 1995 when it came out. I was just a little kid. I was only 11 when that movie came out. But now I'm almost 33 and I'm still watching this stuff. I can't help it. I really can't. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give this a watch with my beautiful fiancée Jessica. And we're not going to judge it too harshly. We're just going to try to keep our mouths shut and watch it all the way through, and I'll give you guys my opinions after we're done. What did I just watch? I am almost at a loss of words. What the hell was that? Where do I even start? Let's go ahead and get the good out of the way. Okay, we'll just go ahead and get the good. We'll do, instead of getting the bad out of the way, we'll get the good out of the way. I like the suits. I like the Zords for the most part. The movie at least keeps you entertained through at least the last quarter, anyway. For me, the movie is just too slow-paced. It was almost excruciating, like pulling teeth. I mean, it took forever for them to go anywhere with anything. They were showing the characters, they were showing the Rangers, they were trying to get you to know them, but they were such stereotypes of themselves, like a stereotype of a stereotype. There really wasn't as much backstory exposition, more than, oh, we're just going to show you what these kids do. That was the good, by the way. Like I said, the last quarter. Once it gets to the training montage, about 20 minutes from the end of the movie, from that point on, the movie kept me pretty well entertained. But the pros definitely don't outweigh the cons in this one. Let's talk about the cons. Let's talk about the bad stuff. It's unfortunate that I have to say that there's more bad things than good things in this movie, but I knew to be skeptical going in. I held my breath every other scene, hoping that they were going to give us something more, and they never did. They never did. But okay, this right here, it only cost me about $16 at Walmart for this DVD, but you know what? I mean, I'm only going to watch it once. That was the only time I'm ever going to watch this movie. Now this is just going to sit on my shelf and collect dust. And let me tell you why. My two biggest problems with this movie, let me get this out of the way. The pacing was too slow. Like I said, it took forever for them to get to anything. We only saw the Rangers morph once in this entire movie. Once, 15 minutes from the end of the movie, they morph. They have a small foot battle with, I guess you could call them putties. They looked more like Rockbiter's shits from Neverending Story. I mean, these things just looked like stone golems. They did not look like putties in any way, shape, or form. They took them down far too easily, and Then they get in the Zords and have this huge Zord fight for, I guess, 10 minutes. The pacing. Okay, I already said the pacing was bad. Too much character exposition, even though the exposition wasn't even telling you anything about the characters. We don't care that much. Number one, Jason is obviously some kind of a criminal delinquent with an ankle bracelet, an ankle monitor, which is ridiculous. Aren't all the Rangers supposed to be good at heart? A Ranger is chosen because they're supposed to be completely good. They're supposed to be the embodiment of a hero, the good guy. Not a criminal, not someone with a goddamn ankle monitor. The Pink Ranger is a social outcast. She just wants to be accepted, but of course the group of girls she was hanging out with didn't want them to hang out with her anymore just because they saw some kind of explicit picture on her phone or on the internet that we never got to see the picture, so it's, what are we supposed to think? Was she just posing nude or something? She gets kicked out of her little social group, she cuts her hair, and that's pretty much it. We don't get any more backstory from Kimberly. Billy, they establish right off the bat that he's the nerd. I get that. Billy was a nerd. Problem is, they made him too awkward. Billy was awkward to a point where when he first met somebody, he was awkward. But as soon as when he got used to them, everything was fine. This Billy character, he was playing the awkward nerd every single scene. He didn't know what to do. He was stuttering. He had an awkward, confused look on his face. It started to get annoying real bad. The Yellow Ranger trainee, all we really get from her character's exposition is that she is also some kind of a rebel delinquent whose parents doesn't approve of her social life, of her social status, her relationship status, which is up in the air. The only thing we get from that is the Black Ranger Zach, when they were the scene where they were sitting around the campfire at night and they were telling each other their secrets, which really aren't that big of secrets. She says that my parents don't approve of my relationships, boyfriend troubles, and then Zach chimes in and says, girlfriend troubles? With a raised eyebrow, and nothing else is said after that. Just silence. Let's get to Zach. Who is he? There was no backstory for Zach whatsoever. At all. I know nothing about this character at all. At least the other characters, they at least gave you some semblance of where they were from. For Zach, okay, he had a sick mother. That's it. That's it. He has a sick mother that he cares for. Other than that, again, just bland stereotypes of a stereotype of these characters. And here's the one other thing that I hated the most. The one other big problem, other than the pacing and the bad characters. You see this right here? Everyone at home should know what this is right here. This right here. Do you know what this is? It's called a morpher. They have no morphers in this movie whatsoever. The one selling point for toys, for collectibles, from Power Rangers or Super Sentai that's been happening the last 41, almost 42 years now, that started in Japan back in 1975, there was always a morpher. Always a morpher. Something that they could sell to collectors. Well, I've been to Toys R Us recently, Walmart, been to the toy sections. They do sell a morpher from the movie. They call it Saban's Power Rangers Movie Morpher. Okay? They don't use them in the movie. The one time they morph in this movie, they're all just standing around these colored launch pads. I don't know what else to call them. Like they're playing Simon Says. They stand on these glowing pads. They have to concentrate, unify their thoughts and their feelings and everything, and then they morph. when they're in the suits, right here, when they're in the suits, you can see on their belt buckles, I guess is what you would call a belt buckle, you could see what would be considered a morpher, correct? Well, because all of their power coins are inside of those belt buckles, which should be the morphers. They don't make reference to it, and they don't use them to morph. All we got were the power coins, which looked more like prehistoric rocks with crystals in the center. That doesn't sound like a coin to me, it sounds like a gem. An Energem. Or a Dino Gem from Power Rangers Dino Thunder. I don't know what it is with the dinosaur series and them wanting to make the source of power here in America a gem or a crystal of some kind. Again, it was fine when doing it once and then maybe doing it again, but it's like these are supposed to be coins, not gems, and they're not morphers. They don't use them to morph. So I'm at a loss for that. So yeah, don't expect me to ever review the Power Rangers movie morpher because they don't use it to morph in the movie. Obviously, the Saban and Bandai of America just came up with that idea so they could sell a morpher. Now, if they come out with a sequel to this and there is made reference or they actually show them using these morphers, I'll recant my statement. I'll back up a little bit and I'll apologize for being so upset, but it's a legitimate reason to be upset because, like I said, every single Power Ranger series has a morpher. That morpher had a purpose. It was supposed to transform them into the Power Ranger, and that's that. So yeah, pacing, bad character backstory exposition, no morphers. The training montage took way longer than it needed to. I mean, this training, I've never seen a training montage last more than, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. This training montage, I counted, this training montage was over 8 minutes long. 8 minutes for a training montage. Before that was nothing but bland character exposition. Then you have an 8-minute training montage, and then you have the last 15 minutes of the movie, which granted was action-packed, was entertaining, but it almost seemed to get over with too quickly. Now, I'm not going to even mention a few things like, say, when the movie opened, how Zordon and Rita were both Power Rangers. Zordon was the Red Ranger and Rita was the Green Ranger. Obviously, I won't say any more about Rita being the Green Ranger because obviously she gets blown into the ocean, her power coin is separated from her for a short time, and somehow she loses the power of being the Green Ranger because even though she's resurrected in this movie and comes back, she still seems to have her power coin in the gold staff that she had to rebuild by eating gold. She couldn't turn into the Green Ranger, so it's like, what happened to the Green Ranger power? So we never see the Green Ranger except for literally a few seconds in the beginning of the movie, and it's a woman. Rita Repulsa, believe it or not. The last 5 minutes of the movie is the Zords battling Goldar. Last time I checked, Goldar was a Sphinx monster that could talk and claimed to be one of the universe's greatest swordsmen. In this rendition, he's just a giant liquid gold monster with no voice, no personality, no backstory, nothing. Just a brainless, voiceless, liquid gold giant monster. I got nothing else to say. It sounds terrible. It was terrible. Aside from the last 15 minutes of it being pretty well action-packed, the Zords were kind of cool. The formation of the Megazord was kind of cool. Only problem is they didn't show the formation of the Megazord. All the separate Dinozords fall into the pit, and then all of a sudden they think that the bad guys think they've won. Goldar and Rita think they won, and here comes the Megazord up out of the pit. We did not see the Megazord form. So that was a big letdown. I figured if they were going to redesign these Zords, make a big deal about how cool they looked, everyone tried to say, oh, they look like Transformers, they look like Transformers. That's cool, but in this movie, they didn't even transform at all. You didn't, or at least you didn't get to see them transform to form the Megazord. That was one of the most drawing parts of Power Rangers series, of Super Sentai, was to see how the Zords were going to transform and form the Megazord. There's usually a different combination, a different form, a different way of doing it every single series. That kept things interesting. In this, you don't even get to see the formation of the Megazord. The Dinozords fall in a pit, then the Megazord rises up looking like a giant, oversized Optimus Prime from Transformers. It really did not look all that interesting. The coolest part of the Megazord was that they were able to use Kimberly's pterodactyl Zord wings as double swords. That was kind of cool. I liked that. But again, we saw no formation, no transformation at all. So, they beat Goldar. Rita supposedly gives up because there's no way Rita by herself is going to defeat a giant robot with 5 superpowered teenagers. Obviously it left it open for a sequel. I'm not going to say much else. There was a mid-credits scene where a teacher was looking for Tommy Oliver, which we all know who Tommy Oliver is. He's the Green Dragon Ranger, or the White Tiger Ranger, or the Red Zeo, Red Turbo, Black Dino Thunder Ranger. Tommy is the greatest Ranger of all time. Teacher asks Tommy Oliver, and point a look at his desk in the classroom, and he's not there. And then all of a sudden, pans to the hallway, the school hallway, the lockers, and there's this huge explosion, and then the movie cuts, and it ends. So, which gives leaves an opening for a sequel with Tommy Oliver, with the Green Ranger. So that would be great. The only remaining question is, will they use Jason David Frank for Tommy Oliver? I highly doubt it, only for the fact is Jason David Frank and Amy Jo Johnson, the actress who played Kimberly in the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, they both had cameos in this movie where they were just holding their cell phone up, taking pictures of the Megazord and looking impressed. That's it. They had no dialogue, nothing. It literally was like 5 or 6 seconds of screen time, and it was over with. So I really highly doubt that if and when they make a sequel to Power Rangers, that the character of Tommy Oliver will be played by Jason David Frank. I don't think that will happen. I really doubt it. I'm just going to go ahead and say no. It won't happen. It'll be somebody else. That was pretty much my impressions of the movie. It started out interesting, then it took a downslope into an hour of boring, needless, non-explanatory character exposition, if that makes any sense. An 8-minute training montage, and then a 15-minute Zord battle. So I don't know whether this movie got chopped up in editing production or what happened, but if and when they make a sequel, it better be damn better than this. Like I said, it's the first and only time I'm going to watch this Drek. It's just going to go on my shelf with the rest of all my other Power Rangers box sets, DVDs, and movie specials, Super Sentai, whatever have you, because I have pretty much everything. It's just going to go on the shelf, and it's probably going to collect dust, because it's the only time I'm ever going to watch it. Anybody else out there wants to watch it, beware. It's not that great. Last 15 minutes are, the rest of it sucks.